For tickets, visit fordtheaters.org or call 323-GO-1FORD.
If elected as Lieutenant Governor for California, San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom has a lot of plans. And of course, he's not overlooking the issue of immigration, which is very, very hot right now. And here are his thoughts about that.
Well, the immigration issue is tough. You got to secure our borders. We have to. And Democrats have failed on this as much as Republicans. To me, this is not a partisan issue. Got to secure the border. But I also believe you have to have a pathway to citizenship. People should learn the language, go in the back of the line. There should be that pathway. That's a difficult issue. How do you manifest that?
Right.
How does that work? Hold employers accountable. I'm an employer. I created over 1,000 jobs. Employers need to be part of this as well. But we need to rationalize this debate. We need to move away from this partisanship. Everyone's using this for political wedge. I thought SB 1070 in Arizona was wrong. I thought it was too, at the end of the day, it targets a minority. The only way to manifest that law in its practical application, and this is what, again, the judge said in striking provisions down, is in a racially biased way. Imagine if the Filipino community was a source of people's anger and distaste and distrust. Imagine how you'd feel if the practical application of a law that they say is racially neutral on the surface, but the practical application was, if you're Filipino, we're going to look at you twice or look at you different. I think people would be very upset. So I feel very strongly we need comprehensive immigration reform, but I thought SB 1070 was bad public policy, but it's a wake-up call.
Well, say, for example, you have a daughter. Say, for example, I know some people, they come here, they give birth, because then automatically they get citizenship. And now I know Arizona is proposing that they strip these children of citizenship. And
I know. Well,
but then at the same time, you have these people taking advantage of that. Like, they come here when they're, 6 months pregnant, and then they give birth here. Yeah,
my sense is of this, look, we wouldn't be having this debate about this birthright issue had it not been for the immigration debate. And I hate to react to today's debate to talk about a foundational principle that's been in our Constitution for 220 plus years. And what I think we do is we tend to legislate for the exception. We tend to overreact to the exception, to a moment in time, without considering the consequences of that, as Dr. King said, that long arch of history. Look, the foundational principles that the Founding Fathers laid have been very powerful and have stood the test of generations. I do think that we're right now reacting to a moment in time in a political environment, and I think the worst decisions politicians make is when they legislate for exceptions, as opposed to dealing with the abuse that you rightly state. We know that that is the case. Let's deal with that in a thoughtful way. And how do you deal with that? You deal with the immigration issue in a comprehensive manner, so that you don't change the principles of our Founding Fathers. And these constitutional protections have been around for centuries.
And as you said earlier, as with what you did with the budget of San Francisco City, you deal with it from day one, and then you focus on it like every day, make sure that it's
as every small business person does. That's what's missing in politics right now. Is we don't. I'm not saying that you should be a small business person to ever get an elected office, but I will say that it's good to have people that have actually managed their businesses, actually hired people, paid payroll, because it gives a different framework. As a small business person, when I got into politics, you've got to be kidding, this is the way they do it. I couldn't conceive it. Every week I had variance reports in my business. I don't want to bore you, but I knew where we were every single week, not once a year. I didn't wait for an audit. And in Sacramento, it's, here we go again, and it's the same results, the same people. I think we need real change, and heck, that's why I'm running for Lieutenant Governor.
Point taken. Last question. Go ahead and talk to our viewers. Tell them why we need you in Sacramento.
Well, because I think we offer a fresh approach, a different perspective. I believe change, not just because Barack Obama said it, President Obama, but change really comes from the bottom up, community by community. And I think I have a perspective of a governance that really focuses on cities and small towns and rural and suburban areas, urban areas, and counties, that we can bring that change to manifest a different construct in Sacramento. I want to get things done. I don't want to talk about problems. Forget the partisanship. Let's focus on principles that transcend partisanship, new ideas. Let's reinvigorate the state. And I hope that people consider that when they go to the voting booth in just 90 or so days, less than 90 days.
And we'll hold you to your word.
Yes.
We'll replay this over and over when you get there.
Please do.
All right.
You should always hold us accountable.
Thank you so much. More power.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for joining us today on Kababayan LA. We hope that by showing you and introducing you to our candidates, some elected officials, and some politicians, we are not only introducing them to you, we're also enabling you to make wise and smart decisions, wise and smart choices come election time. Ako po si Janelle So, ang inyong kababayan dito sa Los Angeles. I'll see you again next time.